invite you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar.
Welcome to the Scumbar Podcast, where we talk movies, TV shows, video games, anything you want, books, and whatever in between. I mean, that's pretty much what the intro is like. And give me a break, because this is only the second time I've ever done this, unless I've maybe only done it once. We're not really sure yet, but it's episode 56, and it's happening. Woo! I am your host for today, for some reason, Anth0z, and with me, all the way across many, many, many seas, taking very many boats just to commute all the way wherever he needs to go, we have my co-host,
Mattbrush.
Mattbrush. Hello, Mattbrush. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you, Anth0z?
I'm not flustered at all doing that intro.
You know what? You handled it like a champ. Good job, sir. Good job.
Thank you. You know, it's actually kind of funny. Like, I was picturing like earlier today, I was picturing what if I did the intro, and I didn't want to say that as you mentioned to me just before starting this episode. And it's just funny that it actually came to be, but I didn't think about it enough to really get in my head. Like, oh, what should I be saying? What does Mattbrush say? What's the order? And anyway,
the secret is you just don't think about it. You just do it.
Yeah. I mean, if that were the case, then there would have been more flow, but that's okay. I got through it.
You're fine. You're fine. You did a fine job.
Yeah, thanks. So, I guess while I'm hosting, the next thing I would probably say is, so what's new with you?
Well, if it's not obvious already or not, there's obviously been some kind of weird change. You can probably hear it in my voice. It's already a little bit different. I am actually not at my house right now. I am at a different house. A house that's, it's like a farm house, kind of like a 1.5 acre property. And it's got some chickens on it, and it's got some big dogs and stuff, and a cat.
Wait, before you go on, because I'm not really familiar with using acreage as a way to gauge like how big things are. So
I forgot you live in a city, so acreage is like
we're full of concrete and just metal everywhere. We don't do dirt.
I'm trying to think of like acreage, like best to measure that. It almost looks like, you know, the whole the Queen building, and like the plaza in front of the Queen. Like if you take the whole building of the Queenie, and you take the plaza in front of it with the fountain there.
Yeah.
That's to me that's about an acre.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy.
So this is 1.5. Now it's not a full rectangle here, so it's actually kind of an L shape. So it's a little deceiving, and it actually doesn't have much of a backyard because there's so much front yard coming up to the house. So it's a long driveway in. It's actually got this really nice iron gate at the front. You have to do this whole thing on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and it's got beehives too. So there's lots to take care of around here. But my fiance and I love doing it, and we do it for some friends, and we take care of the house. So we did it last year around this time, and here we are again for about 2 more weeks. We're going to be taking care of this place. So while we're doing that, I thought, okay, I'll get all the stuff, and I'll set it up over here. And then I didn't bring my whole setup, all my computer. I was going to bring my whole computer and microphone and all that setup, and I just brought the microphone and my laptop, and I was like, I'll just try this. So we're kind of going off the rails, unscripted here. I don't have any of my notes or anything, so this is really like just off the cuff for me. So you're getting as honest as you can from me on my side.
Perfect. I think that's what our audience likes anyway. They just want to know. They want to hear us being us.
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
That's probably the case.
The other thing that's new right now is my fiance is looking for a car. She's hopefully going to buy a car tomorrow. We just found a Ford Focus that she really enjoys.
Ooh,
so
that's what she's focusing on, huh?
She's got 100% focus and attention to detail on it. I said, don't lose your focus. She laughed. May have been the first joke she laughed at.
You know what's funny? I finally made my wife laugh today.
Oh yeah, good job.
I think when's the last time I made her laugh? Probably never that I can think of.
It's something that happens when you get married, you know. We're only fianced, and already I can see the humor just dropping.
Well, no, I mean for our case, like I never make her laugh. Like even from the beginning, I'm sure I've never made her laugh. She always just made herself laugh next to me. So I couldn't even take the credit because she knew it was her and not me. But I do remember it'll probably be ingrained in my head for the rest of my life. So we're sitting in the car, and I was using a different aircon setting. So we had just finished parking before coming upstairs, going home, and it was starting to get like the windows were starting to get fogged up, and I was like, "Ooh, it's getting Titanic-y in here." And then she kind of like did that giggle. And I'm like, "Cool, wow, that like never happens." You know the scene I'm talking about, right? When the hand goes up, like they're in the car.
The mirror. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
That's just like that's the most iconic thing about Titanic: the hand on the foggy window.
That's true. That's what the movie's about. Painting the. Oh, you know what? We're gonna get a special guest appearance from my fiance for like 2 seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I need to respond though. I need to say yes, or else she has no idea if she can come in and grab the laptop. Okay, sorry, nice. Again, it's a little bit off the cuff today, but you know, it just is what it is.
That's fine.
Anyways,
that's totally okay.
Anth0z, so what's new with you then?
What is new with me? Oh, right. Well, I was gonna say, so this episode is coming out late. And that is my fault because I had some relatives over last week. I had my brothers in town. And so because they were in town for such a short time, I wanted to make sure that we had the most of our time available to be together. So I appreciate Mattbrush taking a week off with me.
I'm only now just randomly at a farm, so you know it just is what it is. We get a special guest appearance from not only my fiance but also the dog. I don't know if I'm gonna try to show them.
So we get two guests.
Yeah, we get.
Hello.
The dog.
Hello.
You want to say hello?
Is that Beethoven?
Hello.
Oh, it's not Beethoven. No. Oh, it's like a giant wishbone.
She's what is she? She's bulldog? No, she's a pit bull.
A pit bull cross
boxer.
I don't know what she is. But she's a pit bull. She looks like a pit bull.
She's super cute.
That's adorable. A thick neck.
Yeah. You don't want her to bite. Kettle dog?
Yeah.
Australian kettle
dog? Some kind of cross.
Yeah.
But she's adorable.
She is adorable.
She's a big suck, but she will attack people, which is really nice.
Yeah, she actually has a bit of a history of attacking people, but she is honestly, we would rather the self-defense from the dogs.
Yeah.
If she loves you, she won't bite you.
Nice. So that's a lesson for attackers. Just love the dog.
Yeah, exactly. Just love the dog and then it won't bite you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
No. Bye, dog.
She's so cute.
Bye, Iselberry.
Oh, there she goes.
Bye.
I got totally distracted. You were talking about something, but I lost it.
I probably was, but whatever. Oh, right. So, yeah, I had the week off. So I apologize to all the viewers for having that week off. I apologize to Mr. Chuck, our #1 fan, who's probably been waiting anxiously for our episodes to be released.
Coming from someone who does listen to podcasts like weekly to a lot of different ones, when they skip a week, it is actually really frustrating because you're like, oh, another week? Come on, you know, and you're waiting. So
yeah,
I know we don't necessarily have audience members like that, but it can be frustrating from their side. So yeah, I mean, it's warranted. But
yeah. So yeah, just wanted to apologize for that, but I think we're back on track at this point. We should be able to have our episodes coming out regularly again. Yeah. So what else is new with me? I came back from dodgeball, so I'm pretty sore.
Ooh, dodgeball.
But it was it's fun. We're in our 4th week right now. I think there's either 10 or 12 weeks or so. So pretty early in the season.
Sweet.
But yeah, fun pastime. No complaints tonight. Usually, like the tier or the league that we're in can get pretty competitive, and for me, kind of takes the fun out of it because I don't know. Like when I think of the sport dodgeball, for one, like the word dodge is in the name of the sport. I can't take the sport seriously because it just has the name dodge in it.
Right.
So I don't know. Like when I'm playing, I just want to have fun. I'll put an effort in everything. I won't just like dick around too much, but when everybody else is getting like there are quite a number of teams in this league that just get super competitive, and it's just like we're not getting paid to do this. Like why are you hurting me? So I'm just being a baby. But what else? I have actually like a whole bunch of things that I've kind of like finished recently. Let's see, what is
like
there?
Books?
So no, TV, movies, video games,
TV shows,
pop culture,
popcorn, and everything in between.
Exactly. So I finished Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh yeah.
Finally.
You know what's it's hilarious? I was actually on my fiance's PlayStation account, and we were talking about you for something. Can't remember what it was. It's probably the fact that we couldn't. Are you coming back? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm recording a podcast. This
was that your fiance or was that the dog?
of you.
Or was that a door?
It's my fiance stealing a beanbag. No,
but what was that screeching noise?
That was the door.
The door. Oh, okay. I was thinking like it could have been the dog squealing, or maybe your fiance was like releasing helium out of a balloon.
Oh, it does sound like it. No, it was the day that you said you couldn't record, and then it was like it wasn't at all like what it looked like. But we were on her account, and I was about to play Persona, and just before that, it said your account, and it said that you were playing Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But I think it was just saying you got a trophy or something recently or whatever. I don't think it was saying you were playing it at the time. But it was just hilarious because she's like, "Aren't you supposed to be recording?" I was like, "Oh, I can't because he's got family coming over and all that." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then it's just you came up, and it's just like, "Oh, okay." But
I definitely did not play that night. So
I think it was just trophies,
it just
if anything.
Interesting, yeah. You know what? Like I've never really used PSN that much, so I think it was just maybe sometime around that, like within the past few days, I went on and I was looking at the trophies that I've collected because I'm so I actually didn't 100% it yet. I finished this main story and I've almost finished. I think I need 2 more trophies, and then
to platinum.
Is that what the term is?
Platinum, like if you 100% the thing, you get a platinum trophy at the end for getting all the trophies. So they call it platinuming in the game.
Oh no, wait, sorry. Wait, did it? Okay, yeah, maybe I guess that's what it is. So I either need 2 more trophies, or I just need to do a couple more like logs or whatever. Right, anyway, long story short, I just have a couple more things to do, and then it's 100 for sure. But I was looking through the list of things that I need to do, and then I saw your fiance had been playing Persona 5 and got a bunch of trophies.
Yeah, that's
and I was like,
me.
"Oh, cool! it was you."
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I accidentally started it on her account. I decided to redo Persona 5 because I'd only got through the first boss, so I decided to redo it, and I accidentally started on her account. I didn't notice until halfway through, and then halfway through saving a bunch of times. Right in that game, you save like every 2 seconds, so or you should at least, or else you're probably gonna screw up a bunch.
Okay. Well, there was something that you accomplished, and I liked it.
Aww.
And that's the first time I've ever liked anything on PSN. Like, whatever it is.
Yeah, we're not big on using PSN all that much either. I used to use it all the time back in the day, but the last couple of years, like I think my PlayStation Plus membership ran out and stuff too, so I can't like play online anymore.
Oh. There was a sale recently at Costco? No. Would they have it? Somebody had a sale recently where it was $49, where nowadays it's what, like 51 or 53 in Canada?
I haven't looked, but I just remember last time I saw it, I thought it was pretty expensive. But I just haven't had a game that I wanted to play online for a while. It's been a long time, I think. So I've got a lot of single player stuff that's totally backlogged. So I've got to get through all that. And Persona itself is like 100+ hours, and I've only got like.
Whoa!
I just beat the second boss after like 40-something hours just the other night. And
wow.
So I mean, I don't know how many bosses there are, but there's got to be upwards of 5-6 bosses maybe. So it's gonna take a while before I get through the whole thing.
Wow. Okay, that's 100 hours.
The Persona series is a little crazy. You could probably beat the whole thing pretty quickly. Like I think the speedrunning time on Persona 4 right now is like 10 hours, but
that's a speedrun?
Yeah. Well, dude, the Final Fantasy speedruns are like 12 hours and 13 hours. They're pretty crazy.
Well, yeah. Oh, speaking of, I'll mention that up. I'll mention that in Ye Olde News.
Why don't we jump into that anyways? We're going to just keep talking about whatever if we don't, so.
Sure. Okay.
Good job on the Fallen Order, though, by the way. Good job on
Thank you. Okay, I'm just moving my notes so that I don't get confused for next episode. But, so Ye Olde News. Now we've been talking about Final Fantasy. I will segue into just last night, I believe. The demo for the Final Fantasy VII Remake was available.
Oh, wow.
To play or to download and play. So I decided not to. I would rather wait until I can get the full release game and just play it all the way through.
Interesting.
Rather than get like a bit of a tease now.
What's your impressions on that so far? So I'm actually coming kind of outside of knowing everything about it. Like I don't know much about it, and I also don't know much about Final Fantasy VII. I know the bare bones of it all, but I don't know enough to be a fanboy. I don't know enough to have a bias in any way. So yeah. I'm coming from an outside, but I know you're more of a fan. So what do you think?
I'm actually okay. So I didn't actually start the Final Fantasy series until the 9th game.
Yeah.
And then I played the 10th one, but I didn't even finish. Actually, I didn't even finish the 9th one. I got to like disc 3 or 4, and then I can't remember. Maybe I had to. maybe my PS2 stopped working or something. I can't remember now. I don't know. But anyway, I didn't finish 9. I didn't finish 10. The only one that I've actually... Yeah, the one that I've liked the most was 9. I think I also played a bit of 12 and 15. But 9 I really, really enjoyed. And I had never actually played 7. And I had planned to go back to playing it backwards. I never got around to doing that. But I have FF7 on pre-order. So I'm definitely going to play it. But I'm mainly going off. It's almost like a bandwagon kind of thing. Like I know a lot of people really like it. There's a big following for it. So I'm just into. I'm just really looking forward to playing it. There's so much hype going around. There was actually some sort of convention recently. I saw a friend of mine. He went and met one of the voice actors. Oh, cool. And he got. I don't know if this is going to be the cover art, but it's kind of like one of those. I don't know what you'd call it. The kind of like a watercolor sketch. Okay. And it's like a copy of the original FF7 cover, but it looks so well done. Like the colors are nice and vibrant, and just like really looks. It just looks like a really beautiful cover. I don't know. I'm not gonna say like just that art alone makes me want to play it, but it's adding to the hype that like that looks really nice, and I'm like I just really want to play it. So I can't say I am a big fan, but I'm looking forward to playing that. What else is new in Yale news? Oh, Clone Wars is back.
Yeah, Clone Wars is back. I haven't started it yet. But I am excited to jump into it. But you said it's gonna be a weekly thing for release.
It's a weekly thing. So they've only released 2 episodes so far.
Okay.
Also, I think I realized I probably didn't even watch season 6 because I was watching Clone Wars maybe as they came out.
Right.
So I watched through season 5.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't season 6 after the fact? It was like released after the fact, and it was actually kind of lost episodes that they compiled into a last season.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why I don't really remember it, because I was looking through, and I think Ahsoka, like I kind of used her to gauge the series. Yeah, so exactly. Ahsoka was like her last episode was in the season finale of season 5.
Yeah. It's because season 6, I believe, it takes place during season 5 as well. It's just that season 6 is all like lost episodes that they turned into the last season. I don't think it's chronological. I think it's just kind of like parallel with 5.
Right.
I could be wrong though. I think it's recently what I read on Wikipedia. I think it's like honestly what I was going through because I was trying to figure out for 7 how far I had gone through the series, and I think that's when I saw 6. I was like, oh, weird. It was like an after the fact kind of season.
Right. Well, anyway, so I don't want to say too much about that because I don't want to spoil anything. But so I think Disney or somebody from Disney mentioned what the most essential episodes of the whole series to watch would be. Oh yeah. So it spans I think there's maybe like 25 episodes. So rather than watching like several hundred, I think there's what, like 400 episodes.
Is there really?
No,
wow.
No, actually no, there can't be 400.
I thought there was like 20 something episodes each season or something, and there's only like 6 seasons.
Yeah, so definitely not 400. I guess a couple hundred.
Yeah.
100 and a bit. Yeah, so instead of having to watch like go through all that, then you could just watch these essential ones, and I guess those essential ones should kind of give you an idea of what they're going to be going for or what things are going to be related to for season 7. I've only seen the first 2 episodes released so far, and I'm not quite sure what they're doing exactly just yet, but keen on watching the rest, and hopefully, I'm sure it will.
There's a guy I watch online on YouTube. His name is Cosmonaut Variety Hour, and he does a lot of reviews for different things, but he's got a very, very good Clone Wars review. He goes through the whole show. In my opinion, he expresses what most of us feel while watching Clone Wars. And he's got a really good way of telling somebody who doesn't like Clone Wars or doesn't know much about Clone Wars.
Is he the one that does like the 11-minute review? Is that the same one?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
He just kind of reviews whatever. He's kind of nonchalant about it, and that's kind of why I like him.
Okay.
But yeah, he's just got a really good Clone Wars thing, and he does break down in his video the episode structures of like what you should watch. So he tells you the numbers of each season to watch, and then he throws in a few of there that he just really likes that he thinks that most people should watch. Like there's one with Obi-Wan Kenobi, where it's like in one of the earlier seasons, and Obi-Wan does something really interesting where he kind of disguises himself. And I don't want to go more into it, but it's a really good arc that's about 3 episodes long. Anyways, he just kind of throws it in there because he really likes that arc, and I agree with him. I think it's a good arc. So
Okay,
Anyways,
cool.
yeah. So if anybody's interested and they don't know what structure to go in, that's also a good visual way to show you. So just Cosmonaut Variety Hour and then Clone Wars.
Nice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, I think I saw that there was kind of like the essential review for the whole series thus far, like up until season 7, and I think that's like an 11-minute video or something. So.
Cool.
Yeah, so if anybody who's interested in wanting to catch up, or maybe just wanted to review, like say if you've seen it all already, but you wanted to recap because it's been so long, then that might be a good idea. Last thing I wanted to mention, so I'm just gonna send you a link.
Is it
and
possibly...
so for those
right,
for the audience, I'm sending Mattbrush a link on
What
YouTube entitled "John Wick as Michael Jackson." Actually, I don't think that is what it is. Yeah. So if you search that on, are you listening already?
Yeah.
So basically, so there's this one scene in John Wick where he's got all these guys invading his home, and so every gunshot, every hit, every whatever kind of sound effect is a Michael Jackson sound.
Oh my god. I never knew I wanted to see this until now.
Yeah, it's quite fun. Quite fun.
Are these sound clips taken from something of Michael Jackson's, or is this somebody impersonating Michael Jackson?
I mean, it could be both, but my guess is he's actually like they're sound bites taken from Michael Jackson's songs, because that's how he sings, right?
Right.
That's part of his personality. He'll say,
Oh my god.
or like he'll add those little like inflections every now and then. That's just like an iconic Michael Jackson thing. So,
Well, that's really
anyways,
good.
yeah.
I'm gonna add in something real quick. It's not really news. It's just something funny that's going on right now.
Okay.
So I don't know if anybody knows, but March 20th is the release date to Doom Eternal, and it's also the release date to a game that's very similar to Doom Eternal, made by Nintendo, called Animal Crossing. I think New Horizons, I think it's called.
Oh yeah,
And,
that's yeah.
So I guess there was like a tweet at some point where Nintendo put up something for Animal Crossing and talking about like Isabella or something, and they were like, oh, like you're gonna see Isabella like coming, March 20th or whatever. And then the ID team that makes id Software that makes Doom, they retweeted it and they said something like can't wait to buy Animal Crossing on March 20th or whatever, right? Because it just happens to be the same date. So then I think Animal Crossing or Nintendo like retweeted them and said something funny. And then ever since then, there's now been this like crossover fan fiction that the fans are making of like Isabel.
Of Animal Crossing and Doom.
It's Isabel and then the Doom Marine. So there's these like pictures you can find now that are just the funniest things ever. And there's one where it's like the Doom Marine and he's showing Isabella like how to shoot a shotgun. It's like so
Nice.
good. He's like you just aim it like this, He's like showing her how to shoot it. There's another one where she's on his shoulder and he's got the Animal Crossing text below. And it's him and he's like killing demons and like the text just says rip and tear until it is done. It's like her talking to him. It's just like the perfect crossover. It's just hilarious.
I actually found the picture of the Marine showing Isabel how to aim the shotgun.
Yeah.
That's pretty cute. It's like a father-daughter kind of
Exactly. It's becoming this like really funny meme to the point now where it's like I think Nintendo recently tweeted something else about like come to this release date for something for the Animal Crossing thing, and then the id Software guys like posted and they're like, is Isabella gonna be there kind of thing, like they're like, excited. And then there's now people saying that they're gonna pre-order like both now. They're just gonna like pre-order Doom and pre-order Animal Crossing just because they're a package deal, and people are like putting the cases together and stuff. So just a funny, dumb, weird fan thing that's going on right now, but it's hilarious because it came out of nowhere and it's just very funny.
That's great. So I never played Animal Crossing, but I look on Reddit every once in a while.
That's a good series.
Well, it seems like it. I haven't looked into it at all, so I'm not really sure what what the gameplay is like or anything. But I know I know a couple of the characters from Smash Bros.
Right.
But whenever I go onto Reddit, I check out there's like a video games kind of like sales page.
Oh yeah.
Or deals or whatever. So a lot of people have been posting recently like Animal Crossing coming out, like the Animal Crossing Switch, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. And it seems like there's a lot of people that they post about it, so it's just leading me to believe it's much more popular than I ever thought
Animal
it was.
Crossing, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's very popular. And apparently Smash Bros. Has been making it more popular now too. And Isabella was never like the main character. Is it Isabelle or Isabella?
Oh, let's see.
I don't know what it is. She was never like the main character. She was added in New Leaf. Isabelle. So she was added in New Leaf, which is the 3DS version. But actually, the main character of that series used to be Tom Nook. He was like the most popular character.
Tom Nook.
And it's so funny because I think it's Smash Bros. That totally changed like everyone's perception. And now she's like the main person. But like Tom Nook used to be like the guy. Like back when it was on GameCube, he was like the mascot of that game. So.
Is Isabelle a dog?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she's like a poodle or something.
Yeah, Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Cool.
Well, the Doom Marine had a pet rabbit in Doom 2, so maybe it was the first Doom. And it was his rabbit's name was Lucky, I think.
Could she be a rabbit? I can't.
Well, no, but I guess this is his replacement pet.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Whoa, there's a sheep that looks really weird. Is this real?
Yes.
There's a sheep that looks like Spirited Away, No Face or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this sheep thing looks like No Face, but like inverted colors.
Oh, weird. You're right. Yeah, I see it.
That's interesting.
That is
I guess it's
very weird.
black sheep, like Baba Black Sheep.
Oh,
is that what
maybe.
it's doing?
Yeah, maybe.
With like candy corn horns.
That looks
They're
like a really weird
orange
sprite,
yellow.
though. I feel like that maybe it came from like Animal Forest. Is that what it was called? Animal Forest.
Animal Uncrossing.
It was Animal Crossing was the first release in the U.S., but before that there was an N64 release. I think it was called Animal Forest, and we never saw it in the U.S., but it was in Japan.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that is my news. So, actually, that's ye old news. That's our news and ye old news. So,
Woo! It was Animal Forest. Nice.
Great.
Useless facts and knowledge.
Perfect.
And
that's
everything in between.
That's what this podcast is about.
Woo! Okay.
Listening to us for no reason.
Now, sorry. For no reason.
For absolutely no reason.
I am sorry to have taken up so much time, but honestly, my topic is very quick. Or at least I assume it's probably really quick. So
Okay.
I'm not too concerned about taking your time. But do you want to go with your topic first, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we've touched on this like a little bit during like news sections, but I wanted to cover it more of a topic this time around, just because as of late there have been a lot more updates. I feel like there's been an incline of just activity going on. So I wanted to talk about the coronavirus going on.
Oh.
I didn't necessarily want to talk about like what I guess like what it is and what people should or should not be doing. Everybody kind of has different takes on that.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to talk more so about the mentality of people and how that's being affected by the coronavirus. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So for example, now there's this huge wave of people going to grocery stores to clear out the shelves and like stock up on essential things. So like they're getting foods like canned goods, toilet paper, tissue, like you name it. Like a friend of mine showed me a picture today where at Superstore all the shelves were like empty.
Wow.
I'm not sure what aisle it was. I was at Costco. Well, I heard that yesterday there were some some of the toilet paper on sale and it was all cleared out. But then today, I guess when I was there this morning, I actually had to go for something else, but I decided to take a look and I bought a pack of toilet paper anyway since I was there. But every single person that I saw there had a cart and had a pack of toilet paper in their cart. Every single person that was there. And if they didn't have one in their cart, I'm sure that they were heading towards the area where the toilet paper was because they looked like they were in a hurry, or they looked like they were kind of, I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. I saw on the news, on Global News yesterday, that they were stating how masks are sold out everywhere, including online, and it's not just affecting like consumers, but it's actually affecting health officials because
doctors,
the supplies,
and nurses, and all that.
Right.
I know.
Yes, and those are the people who like really need to have it because
Actually
they're
need it.
Yeah, because they're the ones that are facing this head on, treating people
For sure.
day in and day out. They have to be exposed to it. So, what else is there? Anyway, so that's kind of like part of what I wanted to bring up. I mean, there's some other things where I saw that there's an app that South Korea, or maybe a couple apps that South Korea, or some companies in South Korea have produced that shows affected areas specifically in South Korea. So if you are, like, for example, one of them will notify you, is sending you a push notification if you are in like 100 feet or 100 meters of an infected area or an affected area. So it would let you know, like, hey, maybe you should turn around or something. What else is there? What else is going on? Oh yeah, so the Tokyo Olympics for 2020. Yeah, 2020, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know the Olympics were coming on.
Oh yeah. So for summer 2020, they were planning to do, I think a month from now is when they were planning to do that whole relay thing where, they carry the torch from athlete to athlete to athlete and across, right? So I think people were speculating that it's going to be put on hold, but what was the IPOC? Wait, what are they called? What's the Olympics committee called? IOC, it's IOC, not IPOC.
It's okay.
So the IOC, International Olympic Committee. Yeah, don't listen to me.
That makes sense. International Olympic Committee. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess they've stated, or maybe a committee in Japan specifically for the people who are hosting it. They've stated that they're showing that they are absolutely prepared to still go on with the Olympics. So I think they're trying to calm people's minds and just let them know, like, hey, like it's, like we're good. Don't be scared. But anyway, that fear aspect is more so what I wanted to kind of just like talk about, brush on a bit, just because I feel like that the logistics of everything, that's easier to get a grasp of, I think, in terms of, what are the symptoms we should look out for and what should we do about it. Those are kind of just like simple things. Like, no, we don't have a cure, just like we don't have a cure for like the common cold, but like we still do the same things to just kind of go forward with life. Yeah. Right. We do our best to be healthy for ourselves and try to be safe for other people around us. But this fear aspect, I think, like, it's that craze that throws everything out of whack completely.
For sure. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Like, on the island, is there? I don't know how prevalent it would be, like, just to talk about it on the island, is because maybe like I'm not saying that you're so far removed from like being in the city, but you're removed enough that I feel like maybe you wouldn't be as affected, or you wouldn't even feel inclined to worrying so much just yet. I don't know. How do you feel being over there?
That was kind of my attitude at first when coronavirus is being talked about more and more. People, in my opinion, kind of are getting more alarmist around here. And so my attitude was more like, come on, we're on the island. Like we're as far away from this as we could be. Unless you want to go up north and go up to like a cold area, we're pretty much out of all the major cities. So I was like, we shouldn't, like, if anyone's going to worry about it, we should be worrying about this last, in my opinion. But even so, you've got everyone talking about it over here just as much too, right? I mean, and I've heard stories about the masks here on the island being sold out. I haven't heard about the toilet paper and all that stuff selling out here yet, and I don't think it is. Although it could be. We were at Costco last Thursday, so it's been a little bit, I guess, a few days. Maybe it's starting to sell out more. I'm sure the numbers are bolstered up. It's just not enough to like notice.
Yeah, probably. I think Costco might be, well, at least from my experience today, it seems like they might be on top of it, because as I was there, they had a couple guys that were just over and over again getting shipments, or bringing pallets over from like the back area.
The toilet paper people are loving it. Say they're probably like mass producing right now, because they're like, sweet, everyone's buying. Same with water. I'm sure water bottles are selling like crazy right now.
Probably.
My fiance and I have always kind of been of the mind of we should always have this stuff prepared in case anyways. So we've been like, we're already kind of pantry kind of stock up kind of people anyways, but we've always had enough food for like 2 months, or maybe even more than 2 months now, because our pantry's got so much. I mean, you saw our pantry back in the day in the apartment, and now we've got
all that craft dinner.
Oh yeah, that's actually gone now. We got rid of all
shells.
that, but no, and then now we've got. Well, we've always got water. We've always got stuff for earthquake stuff. We've always got any kind of food that's not necessarily perishable, stuff that can last a lot longer, canned goods. We've always got all that. So we're not as worried about it, but at the same time, you don't want to... You want to like somehow find the line. You don't want to be crazy nutso about it, but you also don't want to be an idiot by not doing anything. So you kind of want to just be in a safe, secure, like just as much as anything else could also destroy us. I want to make sure I'm prepared for this one too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No. I think that's totally valid. And I'm not trying to say that people who are going out and buying everything, they're it is bad.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Right.
The mask one bothers me though. The mask one does bother me.
I think as soon as I heard on global news that it's preventing health officials from getting it, I was thinking, oh man, that's pretty bad. Yes. But it's at the same time, it's not like consumers are going to realize that unless they're informed.
Of course,
right?
Yeah,
because
and I get that. Yeah. I don't want to like blame specific people, definitely, because I'm sure I've made mistakes in that same kind of zone as well. But it's just that
I'm sure
it frustrates me that because I am coming at this from somebody who thinks that this isn't a big deal, and the more and more I hear about it, the less of a big deal I think it is. But it almost feels like everybody else keeps ramping up another notch as I'm almost going lower and lower. So it just gets really strange for me. So when I heard the mask thing, I actually heard that today for the first time, and I just got so frustrated.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've come at this from a few different podcasts where I listen to a few like air quotes conspiracy theories kind of podcasts, and some of those guys think that this whole thing is made up. It's not real. There is no coronavirus kind of thing. But there's other people out there who think this is like the end of the world. This is why we prepare. This is why we like a prepper kind of mentality. Like this is the big one. It's gonna kill everybody. So I've heard both arguments from that. And then just today I was listening to like political podcasts, and I was listening to Ben Shapiro's show today, and he had a whole segment on the coronavirus, and it was really, really interesting coming from his take. And I think that's where I'm aligning the most right now, at least at this moment. And he was saying more the facts that we don't know all of the information from the coronavirus, and it's really hard for us to get that information because a lot of it is coming from China, where they're not telling us, they're not being very honest with everything that's going on. And if they could give us real numbers, it'd be a lot easier for us to understand how bad of an epidemic it really is. He's saying from the numbers that we're starting to get now that just came over the weekend, the Spanish flu, if you had it, you had a 2% chance of dying, and the Spanish flu was pretty bad. The regular household flu is at 1%. So if you have the household flu, there's a 1% chance of dying. Now, I believe the coronavirus was coming in at 1.6% right now with the numbers we have. But that's already diminished from the more numbers we're getting in, because the longer this is, the more we're realizing how many people are exposed, the shorter that number is getting, right? So it's starting to become more and more and more like a common cold. And also the people that are dying, it seems as if the people that are dying from this are people that are already suffering from some kind of medical condition already. Or are weaker of some sort. Yeah, like maybe they're older, have a weaker immune system naturally. There's a lot of deaths of males in China, but a lot of them have respiratory issues because there's a lot of smoke. In my opinion, there's a lot of smoking in China, and I felt like the males were already having respiratory smoking issues, and that obviously is not going to be boding well with something that's a respiratory issue too. So and China's also known for having like a lot of air pollution, like a lot of smog in the air, right? Like so which is why I guess the masks in something like China, or maybe if you want to stretch it, the mask could be in Los Angeles or possibly like in New York, but it just doesn't make any sense for me when you're living in a beautiful city, let's say Seattle or San Francisco or something, where the air is a lot better. And even San Francisco is not super great, but let's just say, for example, better than Los Angeles for sure. It just makes no sense to me. You got these people running out and buying masks, and I'm like, I get that you're trying to prevent either yourself from exposing something if you think you have it, or you're trying to not inhale from like spit or whatever, right? But they're saying it comes in through the eyes. They're saying all these other things, right, about how you get the coronavirus. You won't even know the symptoms for 2 weeks apparently. All these things where it's like, really, I unfortunately don't think that the mask is really going to help you all that much unless you live in that city where there's already other things in the air that are going to bother you. I don't understand the mask thing at all. And it's just now knowing that it's actually frustrating for the medical people. It's like, well, geez, now it's just like, don't do it. In my opinion. It's almost like kind of hindering the process, right? I would say, the mask thing, it is, in my opinion, I would say it's also based out of the fear thing, but the fear thing is like from the not knowing, because mask was probably one of the first deterrents that people thought of at the time when the outbreak happened. Like, okay, people are getting sick, we don't want to spread germs, get masks, right? That seems like a pretty like solid go-to. But then from there, like, because of the fear just like it multiplies the mentality like so much faster than anything else. Fear multiplies faster than hope, than love. I don't know. Like that's it's a very strong emotion, and it's a domino effect. It does hit one, then it seeps into the other, then to the other, to the other, and everybody starts to just kind of latch onto each other's fear. And don't get me wrong, obviously there's a part of me that has a fear of this topic, because clearly I'm not a city person. I'm more of like an island guy or like a farm guy.
Wait, you're afraid of the topic, or you're afraid of you have a fear of the topic, you said?
Of disease or of
I see. Okay.
Of kind of mass population around me. I'm not necessarily afraid of global population. I'm more afraid of the population being near me. So
okay.
And you can tell. I mean, I lived in the city.
That sounds like if you were the most introverted person on the planet, that's like the theme.
I mean, I love people, obviously. I just I also fear people sometimes. I mean, I fear that I can't control them, I guess, in a weird way, because I have no idea what choices these people have made, and I don't necessarily want to be suffering the consequences of the choices they made. So living in a major city doesn't really interest me. And I was in Vancouver for a while, and that's not even necessarily a major city, but that's just not my lifestyle. So then coming back here to the island, this is definitely where I feel a lot more secure and safe and all that. So obviously the whole thing of coronavirus, it's like, okay, I'm making fun of all these people for going a little bit crazy about it. And yet at the same time, I visit London, I get a cold, and I'm like, of course. Like, I just feel like that. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a cold, of course, because everyone here's filthy. Like, and that's not to say that London's filthy. It's just when that many people are all together living in one city, it's bound to happen no matter what.
It's going to spread really quickly.
Back when these video game conventions happened, actually, this is also on topic too. Like PAX, there's something called the PAX Pox. And it was like just the flu,
no.
right? It was, it's not an actual pox or anything. It was just a flu that people get by going to PAX. And it's common because it's 80,000 plus people all in one congregated area. You're going to get sick. It's just it's how schools happen too. But what's funny is I think it's PAX, but it's not E3. I think it's PAX that's happening. But Sony actually just recently said that they're backing out. So they spent all the money for the event. They got all the badges and all the tickets and stuff. But apparently they're actually backing out now and not going to go to it because they're too afraid of what could happen. Maybe it's Tokyo Game Show. That would make a lot more sense if it's Tokyo Game Show. Yeah. Because, Tokyo.
So I was going to just briefly go over the numbers. So I'm looking at this website, gisanddata.maps.arcgis.com. I don't know what it is.
ArcGIS? Nice.
Yeah,
my fiance
what's
did
ArcGIS?
that. She did that at BCIT actually. So ArcGIS is like
so it's legit.
It's the photo mapping from a plane from above.
Yeah.
So the ArcGIS network is all those photos stitched together. It's kind of like Google Earth, I guess, but that's kind of what creates Google Earth in a weird way. But it's been happening. Like she always used to brag about this, but they've been using this since maybe even before. But in World War II, they actually used ArcGIS mapping to be able to discover if there was real bunkers. For where there would be like weaponry and all that kind of stuff. So they map all this together to make all that. So sorry, random fact about ArcGIS, but I love that.
No, that's great. That's good because I would not have been able to explain this, and so that helps. Thank you. So yeah, this gives a visual. So it shows the map and it shows kind of like all the hotspots, and then it also gives you numbers. So it says total confirmed 90,936. So today it's March 2nd, just for those of you who are watching this episode later on. But so March 2nd, total confirmed cases 90,936. 80,151 of them are specifically cases in mainland China. So the remainder of the 10,800 or so is from everywhere else. The next one's to follow suit. Korea. So the second largest mass of cases is 4,812 in South Korea. 2,036 in Italy, which came up out of nowhere because the European countries, I think just over the past couple weeks, all of a sudden they just started getting tons of cases. But
I'd be very curious to understand the immigration policies for those countries too. Not to get political. I don't mean to say I'm taking a side or not. It's just if you are in a situation where you're moving people from a country into your country, I want to know. Were you moving in South Koreans at that time? Were you moving in Chinese people? What were your policies at that time for moving those people in before I start judging a country? Otherwise, I could be like, okay, well, maybe it's just one person that flew to Italy that was in China. Or was Italy also welcoming with open arms a bunch of South Koreans into their country because of something else, right? I don't know the story. So there could be more to it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. And at the same time, can a country or can a government even really control people all that much in order to
I do think it's inevitable. It's sad as it is. I think it's inevitable that coronavirus hits a country, right? I mean, if we were in Canada here expecting it not to hit us, we'd have to be naive. I think the answer is
as of now we have 27. I think we have 27 cases in Canada. So
But the answer, the question wouldn't have been, will it hit us? The question would be, when will it hit us, right? So then you can start to prepare and get better. That's why I'd like to see more proactive things to try to mitigate something like this, but it doesn't need to be alarmist. So I think the media is starting to switch on this, and I'm not a big fan of the media at all, but I think that they actually are doing a fairly decent job with this. Like you just said recently, that they're telling people about the masks. That's great. I mean, finally we're getting the word out on that, which is awesome. But if we can stop freaking out about it, if we can start to hear from the television, that big box in our living room that tells us about our lives, if they could, if that box could start telling us, not necessarily not to panic, but just, well, not necessarily not to worry
all the health
panic.
officials, all the health officials that have been interviewed that I've seen, I'm sure all of them have actually said, like, whether or not they've stated like it's under control, they've actually said words similar to, like, there's no need to panic, or like you don't have to worry.
I heard one today on the podcast, and it was from a newscaster saying that. Yeah, and it's so nice to hear that, because that's the kind of attitude I want to hear.
But even if people say that, I think it's still up to the viewer to have that, like, sink in, just because, like, again, there's like that whole fear factor, right?
Well, I think what really hit, and I work at a credit union, so this is where I heard it the most, but when the stock market in the US was starting to go down, this is where everyone started to see this as an epidemic, right? Because they went, oh my god, if the stock market is crashing because of a virus, well, then that must mean the end of the world, right? Everyone starts buying gold. Everyone starts freaking out. And, like, you know what? To each his own. I would buy gold, and actually I have bought gold, but I'd buy gold anyways to hedge your bets, and because you never really know. And it is a way to just sort of have your funds in something else. So I'm not necessarily knocking buying gold, but what I mean is the reaction from people is that everything has gone down so far that money is useless. Well, that's not going to be true. I mean, it's so... it's just such an exponential leap to get to that point where you're so freaked out because the stock market crash. In my opinion, the very first thing, as soon as somebody told me the stock market is going down, the very first thing I said was buy. I know they laughed at me because they were talking about the epidemic. They're like, oh, the stock market went down. I was like, buy. But it's just like, it's my first instinct when the stock market's going down is buy. It's not freak out. It's not sell. It's not any of that, because the stock market has gone through ups and downs through the whole lifetime of the stock market. So I don't know why we would suddenly think that now that since it's dropping, the world's gonna end, because it's dropped many times. So if it drops, buy, and then you know what? In 2 years you'll thank me. So
that's kind of just the trend for stocks, right? Like, for just about anything. Like, everything's gonna have an up and a down.
Of course,
everything can't possibly just go up all the time.
Yeah, and honestly, as soon as and I think actually what I was just listening to on the Ben Shapiro podcast is that the stock market just yesterday or maybe today is starting to plateau. So it's gonna just rise again. So honestly, I think you're probably too late to buy now. So I'm just gonna end off with a few more numbers. So I mentioned total confirmed cases was 90,936. Total death is 3,117. Right. Majority obviously in Hubei, in Wuhan. At 2,834. Total recovered cases globally is 47,995. So that's more than half of the confirmed cases total. So 36,000 of those recovered are specifically in Hubei. So like as you said, like once we get more numbers, like confirmed cases but also numbers like recovered, then we're gonna see that percentage drop of fatalities as a whole, right? So I think just because it's so new, and it's mainly that because it's so new that people have no idea like how to really deal with it or how to react to it. Again, this is just why that fear factor is causing so much of this, for people to just like act without thinking, I guess, or just think differently before they act. So like Apple.
It's like Apple.
Think different.
Is that their slogan?
Yeah.
Think different?
Think different.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it would have been like, or it should have been something like,
Hey,
I want to Siri.us. We are Siri.us.
Ooh. Now it's think.
No, I wanted to relate it to like something with like a doctor, like Apple, buy one of us a day. Or something like that.
It's not bad. I honestly
one day.
I think the apple is a representation of Adam and Eve. I honestly think that the apple is supposed to be like the temptation that Eve gave to Adam.
Oh,
I think that's the whole point of it.
whoa.
Now I think that they were maybe just going for a bite in an apple. I don't know, but I don't know. Steve Jobs also priced his first Apple computer at $666. So I think that there's some kind of weird biblical stuff going on at the Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniaks when they were first starting it off. So,
Interesting.
Anyways,
Okay.
so that's interesting about the coronavirus, though. I didn't know the stats. One thing I'd be curious about too, though, is I'd like to know how many people died in China during this whole time of the coronavirus. How many people died from stairs? And I'd also like to know how many people died from car accidents.
Well, and that's exactly another thing that people are kind of regretting to think about. But that naturally happens anytime there's some sort of epidemic of something going on,
Of
right?
course.
Like you forget about all the other things that are still going on. You know, like I heard a lot of people say, I heard more people talk about it at the beginning of the coronavirus happenings that, you know, like, yes, there are a bunch of cases coming up and people are dying, but it's still so minimal compared to the household flu, which is affecting thousands and thousands of people all over the world.
That's why
more so than this. So.
I don't judge the people that are going and buying the toilet paper, buying the water, buying all that. I definitely don't judge them. It's just maybe look at your life at that moment and think, why wasn't I thinking this before? You know, it's like, yeah, you could die from a stairs any day now. You could die from a car accident any day now. So prep early, because that stuff could happen to you. So I'm actually more of a prepper mentality. So I like to be prepared for that kind of stuff. But do it like throughout your life. Stop thinking about it when the media is telling you about it, and maybe start thinking about these things yourself. And you're not going to be with the trend of the people doing it all at once. And you'll be prepped ahead of time. Personally, I feel like. So that's why I think I've been more nonchalant this whole time, is because my fiance and I feel like we've been prepared for something like this already. Not necessarily to a huge extent, but you know, it's something we've crossed our minds. What if an earthquake happens? What if a flu hits? You know, what if a disease comes through or something, right?
A flu quake.
A flu quake, exactly. Yeah. What if the earthquake unleashes a flu?
Well, what if the Earth gets the flu?
And
sneezes us all off? And we just get, it's like we're fleas on a dog and we just get shrugged off.
The turtle that carries the earth, we just ride on the turtle's like flapper wings. That's what we would. We can hang out on there. We can have a new country on the wing.
We just don't know. That's the thing. We just don't know.
We do not.
Anyway, I just made a reminder to update my earthquake kit. So thank you for reminding me
no problem.
about that. That'll come in handy living in Vancouver.
Actually, it's a good reminder. I need to re-buy the window smasher for your car and the seatbelt cutter, because that got stolen from my car.
It got stolen, right?
Yeah. It's not. You would rarely use it, but again, just like the coronavirus, though, it's something you buy just so that you've got it in case it has ever happened, something like that. And then you're not going to the store when there's the seatbelt virus.
So Can't
get the seatbelt off of me. No.
It's the hyper seatbelt rashness. It could happen.
It could happen.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
Anyway,
that was a good topic. I like that.
Thank you. Cool. I mean that's the everything in between, because I like
really it. It's very timely
pop
though.
Culture. Yeah. Oh well, is it timely though? Because we could have talked about this so much longer ago. Yes, those are words.
Yeah, I guess we could have. But the thing is that it's still happening now, and honestly, I think the surge in the topic has happened more recently than before. Ever since the stock market crashed, I feel like every day people are talking about it now.
Oh.
And a lot of companies are like talking about it now. Like, I don't know about you, but at my work, we're getting emails about it now from larger companies saying like, oh, due to this, due to that, you know, blah, 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 blah. My health insurance company sent me an email about it, you know?
Oh, well, I haven't gotten any kind of correspondence about that, but I did walk into, so like for the couple properties that our family manages, the tenants downstairs, so one's a grocery store, the other one is a convenience store. And I rarely go into both of them in one day and see that there are so little people in there shopping. I mean, there must have been one person in the grocery store, and usually also, like every time I go in, like at all times of the day, there's at least like 5 or 6 or something like that. But there was just the one, and then they were gone pretty quickly. The staff were all wearing masks.
Oh wow!
It's it's an interesting time. And then I know that I was speaking to the other tenant, and they were saying how obviously business is going down quite a bit. They noticed like across the street, one of the Chinese restaurants is closed temporarily because of the coronavirus. So,
that's in a weird way where it's almost just a stigma, right? That's like if you're Chinese, you have the coronavirus. I guess I never really thought about that, because here on the island there's a lot less Chinese people, so that's probably, I can see how that would almost be a thing. Yeah, but it's not on the island right now, so.
I think it's probably a mixture of stigma, but also like I know one of the other nearby like local restaurants, they they have some things that they would like they have, I think it's king crab or something that they were supposed to export to China, but because of the restrictions and everything, they couldn't. So they were actually making dishes for a cheaper price just so that they could get rid of that stock.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, times are changing.
Huh.
Anyway,
the Chinese food across the place from my work is still kicking it, and it's doing very good. So that tells me that it's definitely not Chinese food. And it's still very delicious.
Nice. I will not go there.
You don't like the sweet and sour pork?
I can. There are certain things I'm not really keen on. I think sweet and sour pork is really not like a traditional Chinese dish.
What about hold on. What about fried rice? And when that sweet and sour pork nudges the fried rice, and you've got the bit of that sauce in with the rice.
I don't mind a little bit of the sauce because I prefer having savory food over like sweet when I'm having my meals. So like a little bit of the sauce is okay.
Oh wait, no, I guess lemon chicken is just as sweet. What about the lemon chicken? It's so good.
Wait, have I? Oh, like lemon chicken. Oh, lemon. Yeah. I don't get.
It's kind of just like the sweet and sour pork. It's just chicken, and then it's a lemon sauce instead of a red sauce.
Yeah,
I say red sauce not as an Italian. I say red sauce as in like the sauce is dyed red.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I usually only get that at a food court or something, and those are definitely not legit Chinese restaurants.
No.
So
I mean, honestly, I mean, mine's probably not that much better. My fiance and I, we go to Quality Foods. That's our best Chinese food, and it is da bomb. It's so good. We've considered them catering our wedding, and we might do it.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Sweet.
It's so good. I love it.
All right.
And people here love it too.
Good. Well, know your audience.
Yep. Okay, let's move into topic number 2. My topic. So crazy. Right. I was watching an episode of The Simpsons recently. It was old Simpsons, and I hadn't seen it in forever. And it just reminded me that that's definitely what like made me want to do kooky voices when I was younger. It's just The Simpsons voices are all so unique. I mean, from the crazy scientist guy, but like even just regular people have the funniest voices. Like especially like if it's like a non-important character and they just walk into a scene, they just have a funny voice. It's so good.
Actually, that's right. They're all very, very distinct. Like at least like with Family Guy, like the most normal voice is probably Brian the dog.
Oh yeah, but that is also Seth MacFarlane's voice.
I know they're like, are they all the male characters and the dogs and Brian?
Well, not all, but
Seth
a lot of them are.
Right?
Yeah.
Or sorry, I mean of the family.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. In the family, no, because the son is Seth Green.
Right. Okay. Well, it's another Seth. Anyway.
True.
I'm just categorizing my Seths.
Okay, I'm gonna get in my topic here. So.
Yes. Sorry.
Here, no, it's no problem. It's gonna be a fairly quick one, so you just take it as you will. All
right.
You right now work for Disney.
Yeah. Are we done yet?
Yep, that's it.
Was that cool?
That was it. That's the topic.
Great.
No, so you right now work for Disney, and you've got to make the next Disney live-action movie.
Ooh.
So you have to take any Disney animated film. This is up to you entirely, but it has to be a Disney animated film.
So it has to be like a current existing one.
Yes, a current existing Disney animated film, and I'm not talking about Pixar. I'm just talking about Disney animated classics, or animated films in general, all the way up till today.
Okay.
And you have to turn it into the next live-action big budget. So Mulan is about to come out, and you're going to be the next one right after Mulan. In fact, at the Mulan movie, they're going to play the trailer for your movie. So which movie do you pick and why?
Oh, Hercules.
Oh my god, that's what I said.
Right off the bat, I would want to see. There's so much opportunity in Hercules to do a live action that could be really, really done well.
So I had 2, and that's my okay. So now that I know it's Hercules, would you make it? So with the Mulan movie, Mulan the cartoon was a musical. The Mulan live action is not a musical. There's no music in it, and they also got rid of Mushu. It looks like. So.
And they added a phoenix.
You're right. They added a phoenix. With Hercules, what kind of changes do you think that you would be willing to make and or would want to make?
It's funny, actually, as I said that, the first thing I was questioning would be whether or not I'd have it as a musical.
But that song...
Go the Distance?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to have that, right?
That's such a good song.
But, I think it would be difficult to pull that off. Like, okay, the way that I see Hercules being done as a live action, obviously, like the cartoon, it's it's a little bit more of a, I guess it's as if a musical were in a cartoon. So it's got that quirkiness to it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like we have I don't know, even the way that the characters act, like the way the characters are, it's like yes, they're cartoons, but they there's some sort of, I don't know how you'd say it exactly, but there's some sort of like seriousness that they're lacking at all times because it's a cartoon, and I guess because of how I feel as for that aspect. But anyway, I would say probably not do a musical, and Go the Distance would probably just be
theme song.
And well, I was actually thinking an instrumental, so it wouldn't be lyrics. Or there would be some sort of. I think it would be probably better for if we could have brand new music, but the music would sample some of the original music. So for example, like Go the Distance, there's like that French horn that does the main hook line. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it's a French horn or not, but some sort of brass instrument.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be really cool if we had some sort of new song that had, the whole soundtrack had elements of the original soundtrack.
What about Who Puts the Glad in Gladiator?
Oh, that, like, yeah. So again, that's like just the words alone. Like I couldn't take that seriously if I saw a live action movie. I would think completely different of, like, I would think that this movie is catered to
it would
kids.
be hard to nail. You're right.
Yeah. So I would see that movie as more catered to kids as opposed to, like, I don't know, if you're gonna do a live action movie, like, I feel like it just makes more sense to cater it to like an older audience, not necessarily like rated R or 18.
That does bring me to my next question about this, because this is something I've also thought about. So what would you do to handle the gore? Because it's actually quite gory too.
I guess if anything, like mostly off screen, or just like, I mean, you don't have to show blood or anything like that, right? And when he's facing
the Hydra,
okay, like when he faces the Hydra, like I think that blood is okay because it's not a human, so it can be like they can pass that off as whatever like juices come from the Hydra's body.
Okay.
But in terms of like maiming other things, like he doesn't actually maim Medusa, right? He just like freezes her.
Medusa.
Does he do that? Is Medusa's in Hercules, isn't she?
I don't believe Medusa's in it. No, there's the sages or whatever, the wise crones, the three of them that have the one eye that they move in between each other. I don't think he fights.
Okay.
If he fights Medusa, he might fight some kind of Medusa-like monster in the montage, because he fights a bunch of monsters in the montage.
Or unless maybe could Medusa be in like the cartoon?
Well, Medusa's in Clash of the Titans, which is pretty much the same story.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, okay. So I guess in terms of blood, like, I don't know, like you can stab somebody and not show the blood, right? Like,
oh, for sure. I mean, Avengers,
the
Marvel movies have been getting away with it for years. So is Star Wars, for that matter. And Star Wars actually has maiming. Yeah, so I mean, you could definitely get away with it. I was just curious how you would handle that. Would you take it the mature route or not?
I would probably go the more mature route, and I guess just because of what I expect the content to be.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be more of like, action thriller. What would you compare a Hercules movie to?
Honestly, the aesthetics of the film.
I guess it just would be Clash of the Titans. Yeah.
In my mind, the aesthetics of the film would look like Troy, the movie Troy, where like everyone's really like, because it's like Greek and hoplite armor and all that, and it's got just that right color and lighting and like film. I just see it looking like Troy, but you're right with the CGI effects, which Troy doesn't have. How do you meld it in? And I don't like the look of Clash of the Titans. It's all too clean for me. It's too like shiny.
Well, actually, I like that you compare those two, because Clash of the Titans for me, it's more of it's more subdued, neutral, like, and like shades of black and gray colors.
Yeah, for sure.
Like those are where the highlights come in, right?
Exactly.
But where Troy comes in, it's more, it's like warmer,
very,
and like brown, like earthy tones.
It really
but
feels like
some,
you're there.
Vibrance.
It feels very natural, right? So
yeah. So I feel like that would be a good way to portray, that would be a good core. I don't know, what would you like, coloration? That would just be good for Hercules, I think, rather than going otherwise you're kind of pulling it off as trying to be like too dark and too gritty.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to go that route for Hercules, right? Like you don't have to go. That's like overboard.
As far as the story goes, I mean, it can be mature without needing to be, without not being for kids. Like, it can still be for kids quite easily because the story itself is nothing different than like Star Wars, for example, right? It's just like a hero who doesn't really know what he wants and then gets a sort of goal and then tries to like achieve it, right? I mean, it's just he's like your typical like rising hero as any story goes. It is. It's Creed.
It's Rocky.
He's Luke Skywalker.
He's Ash Ketchum.
He's Ash Ketchum. Yeah, exactly. He's all these same people. He's Harry Potter. He's Frodo Baggins. Like, he just goes through the same kind of thing, right? And he's trying to achieve his goal. And in fact, it's actually very similar sort of Captain America. So it's going to be a very similar kind of movie too, because you're going to have an actor who plays the sort of skinnier version when he's younger, and then the actor when he's the older, more mature and buff version. So, do you have an actor in mind?
I was just gonna ask you.
I don't. So. Chris Evans. No.
Ooh. Do I go with Henry Cavill? No. Who's Actually, you know what? No, this wouldn't work out. Wait, because the Hercules in the cartoon is like redheaded, right?
I believe he's got red head. It's like brownie red.
Is he right? And the hair color, is he normally like? Okay. Anyway, I'm trying to think of like
if god, I think he's blonde hair.
Sorry.
When he becomes a god, I think he's blonde hair.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong. I feel like his hair goes blonde though.
Interesting. Okay. That might work out. So I was gonna say Justin Hartley. So he's one of the actors in This Is Us. He played Oliver Queen in Smallville.
Oh, yeah. I remember that dude. Yeah, for sure. Oh my god. You know, I think I've even said that when I was watching it at some point. It's like, this dude looks like Hercules. That's so funny. Yeah, because I actually think he'd be able to maybe pull off the young one, or they could do like one of those CGI crazy things where they make him young, and then just have him play the older version. I feel like they can get away with that.
Yeah, I can see that working.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so do you... No, I know what I would do. Who do you have play Phil?
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, exactly. Just have Danny DeVito come in there, give him the craziest makeup, make him a whole imp thing, and then have him do the whole thing.
Like, how would you not?
I know, he's just so funny.
Yeah, have to.
Actually, speaking of Troy, kind of a joke in there, but he actually talks about training Achilles in that movie. So.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh. Sometime in the beginning.
Yeah, he talks about Odysseus from the Odyssey after Homer's the Iliad.
Yeah.
And he talks about Achilles. So he talks about them both in that moment, and he's got like the armor. He's just like, because of a stupid heel, and he like clicks the heel to Achilles' statue, and the statue like shatters and breaks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Who do you get to play Hades?
Ooh, what's his name? Did such a good job. He's so good as Hades.
Like the voice actor?
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now.
He does sound really good.
He's so good. I love that voice actor. He's so funny. He's also in The Simpsons, and he's so good.
Who is it?
I can't remember his name right now. But he does this one role in The Simpsons where he plays a store clerk owner for Apu, because he's got a movie coming up, and he's like one of those actors where he likes to do the actual profession before the movie. So he's the squishy store, the Quickie Mart owner for a little while there instead of Apu, and it's just a really funny one.
Okay. James Woods?
James Woods, yeah, he's really funny.
James Woods.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so for Hades, I would get Matthew McConaughey.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Matthew McConaughey would do a really good Hades.
I think I agree with you there. That's a good pick. That's cool.
Yeah, he's on my radar. I don't know what it is, but he's just getting better and better.
Actually, well, you know what? Okay, you said Matthew McConaughey, but I was picturing Woody Harrelson in my
he
head.
would do good too.
But
I think Matthew McConaughey would do a little bit better. Woody Harrelson's a little bit too Woody Harrelson, while Matthew McConaughey can be someone else, in my opinion. Yeah.
Well, okay, so once we see Woody Harrelson as Carnage, I think then I might have a better idea of whether he can do Hades or not. Because I feel like
true.
They don't have similar personality. Like they have I don't know how to explain it. Like they definitely don't have the same kind of personalities, but I think what's the term? It's just something about their characters, just like how
their persona.
Yes, their characters are not the same, but their personas are the same. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, I can see like the relation in there that it could work. Wait, sorry. Did you tell me who you think who you would pick for Hercules?
No, I don't actually have a pick. I like your pick though. I would pick that too.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we're just gonna go with each other's cast members. It'll be good.
Okay. Nice. The other Disney live action movie I thought of that I would pick for sure to remake would be Emperor's New Groove, because I think Emperor's New Groove is actually really timely because it's very funny. It's a really quick, short movie, which the trend seems to be to make them like 2 hours now and add a bit more story to it. So I think there's lots of room in Emperor's New Groove to add more story. And it's not a musical, so there's no like complaint from people for it not being a musical, because it already wasn't. So they can just now go with that actors. But I honestly think you can still have John Goodman and David Spade play the same two characters. I think you could just go for it again. Now, there's a huge argument here of should these even be made, but we're well past that now because we're well beyond the realm of should they be made, because they're all being made anyways. So I say, why not bring back David Spade and John Goodman and have them reprise their roles as the llama and whatever his name was.
I didn't actually watch it.
There's
but
Cusco and what is his name?
I'm looking it up.
Oh.
You are thinking of Kronk.
No. But David Puddy should come back to play Kronk, though. That'd be hilarious.
Okay, the characters are Cusco, Pacha. Pacha. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Yzma is the old lady. I can't remember who does the voice of her, but she's hilarious too.
Wait, who's Pacha? Hey.
Pacha is John Goodman.
No, I know, but like, the big guy's Pacha.
Yeah.
Sorry, for some reason, like, okay, I thought who's Kronk?
Kronk is David Puddy's character. He's like the poison made specifically for Cusco. Cusco is poison.
Oh, okay, that's who I was thinking. Right.
Kronk
They're
pulls the lever.
They both like big burly men. I got them mixed up.
And Kronk pulls the lever, and then she falls down to the pit full of alligators, and she's like, "Wrong
Haven't seen
the movie." It's really funny, man. It's I watched this not too long ago with my fiance, and we just laughed the whole time. Like, it's an hour and 25 minutes, I think, and it goes by like that. It's so good.
Nice.
Comedy just gets me.
Well, especially when it's done well.
Yeah.
Is this one okay? I'm trying to pick my second one. Oh darn! I wanted to. Okay. I don't know how this would work, but my second Disney film would maybe Robin Hood, like the one where he's a fox.
Yes. God, I forgot we have like the same taste in like Disney films, but yeah, that was like such a good movie. Oh,
it was. I loved that movie growing up.
Yeah.
But it's so difficult because they're all animals, even though they walk on twos.
Now, maybe controversial, but I think you need to keep the small musical numbers they have in that. The very beginning with the yeah, I think you need to keep that. I think you need to keep the narrator as well. And I also think you need to keep. There's a musical number later on when they're all dancing, and they're all dancing in the Sherwood Forest, and Robin gets his first dance with Maid Marian, and I think that should all be kept in the movie too, because all that is so good. Because that's all wholesome stuff.
Yeah. What would I want to see? Like, I'm trying to think of. Oh, I'd want to see how this works out, but you know how who is it? Okay, Baloo from Tailspin is basically who is he? He's not Friar Tuck. Is he Friar Tuck?
Yeah, no, he's Friar Tuck.
He's Friar Tuck.
Or no, he's Little John.
Little John, yeah. Friar Tuck is like that mole guy, or that like the badger or something.
Yeah.
So Friar Tuck, that scene where he's kissing King John's fingers and he's stealing the emeralds and stuff off of his rings.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would be able to do that, but I would want to see that somemew in a live action movie.
I also love, would they? So they're staying as animals, I guess. Then, hey, they would have to.
Yeah, well, it's doable.
I also love the snake though, when he'd slither around and then he would like get his little tongue and he'd put it into the lion's ear.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the noise though when the snake blew himself into a balloon, and then he was like the tail of the balloon, and then he would use his tail to like spin, and he would like fly around on the balloon thing.
It sounds like some sort of like wet rubber thing that's getting slapped. Oh yeah, it starts off that.
Just some weird noise.
Oh, I'm thinking something else. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Oh man,
it's so weird. Oh. Yeah, I loved it though, man. I used to love
watching
that movie.
This. Okay, this is on Disney.
You know what I also loved was the guards when they'd be like 4 o'clock and all is well.
Yeah. Oh man.
There was also some character I really didn't like, and I don't remember his name at all. But he wasn't the king. He was some other guy, and he was like kind of evil.
Was he like an assistant or something?
Maybe, I don't remember.
Like the king's hand.
He was some kind of bear or something like that. I don't remember him very well.
Bear.
Anyways, that was a really good movie though. It was legit for sure.
Yeah, I I think that would be really cool. I think it would be really difficult, but
yeah, I don't know how you reprise that in the same way.
Like, I don't know. Do you go back to using like full on costumes like Ninja Turtles or what was it, like Warriors of Virtue, or do completely CGI? I don't know. Like after watching Lady and the Tramp, I'm not so keen on following CG, like full on CGI animals that talk. I feel like it's
hey, remember Homeward
easier
Bound?
to watch.
Homeward Bound was all live action animals, and that was an awesome movie.
Oh, actually, that's right. You know what? I probably did see that when I was.
I don't even think they animated the mouse in that movie.
young.
I'm pretty sure in Homeward Bound they just had the voice actors talk over the animals as the animals were just like looking around, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's right. And it was really good.
And I think that works out better because like it's easier to like it's more realistic to look at that.
Oh.
You know, right? It's obviously not realistic to have voices coming out of like human voices coming out of a dog, but it's realistic to look at a dog and it doesn't move its lips like a human.
Yeah. And if anybody wants a representation of the dog that was in this room earlier, the dog in Homeward Bound, not the golden retriever, but the other one, the pit bull or whatever.
Is that a pit bull thing?
I don't know what it is, but that looks so similar to the dog that was in here. So if anybody else is wondering, it looks like that dog.
Let's see. Okay, Homeward Bound dog breeds. 4 golden retrievers and 4 American bulldogs were used for the parts of Shadow and Chance.
Bulldog. I get those mixed up all the time. Yeah. So it's a bulldog, but it's like a bulldog terrier cross or something. But anyways, it looks mostly like the dog from Homeward Bound, so it's pretty cute.
They used 8 Himalayan cats to play the part of Sassy. Wow, that's demanding.
Oh my gosh.
Those diva cats. They don't want to spend too much time on.
I really don't remember the plot to this movie, but I remember liking it a lot.
I don't remember it at all. Do they all get lost?
I think it's something like they get lost.
Yeah, cool. And then
they're homeward bound
for home. Yeah. All right, we figured it out. We
I
solved
wish
it.
I was homeward bound.
Is that the theme from the movie?
No, it's Simon and Garfunkel.
Okay, I don't listen to either of them.
Oh, I only listen to the Funkmeister. That's not true at all. I only listen to Paul Simon.
Sorry, I just read that Robin Hood, the Disney's one, was from 1973.
Yeah, it's old.
No idea. Wow.
I know.
Oh, that's the bear you're talking about. The one, right. He's not like a bear. He's like some giant, like.
Yeah, I don't know what he is, but I remember not liking him.
like he's like a giant fat weasel.
That's what he is. Yeah, he's like a wolf thing. He's some kind of fat
he?
wolf or something. I know I don't like him because I'm pretty sure he steals the townspeople's money. I think he's the mayor, and he steals their money. And I think it's near the beginning, and I think Robin Hood like puts on that disguise and ends up stealing the money back from him and stuff like that.
I think you're right. Yeah, he's a wolf because in IMDb, Sheriff of Nottingham, is that his character?
Oh, he's the Sheriff of Nottingham, of course. I was thinking
Yeah.
the King was the Sheriff, but no, that makes more sense. The King's the King.
No, so yeah, King. Oh, sorry, I called him King John. He's Prince John,
Yeah,
but he's King Richard.
yeah. King Richard is.
Oh, no, sorry. King Richard is the brother?
I think so. King Richard is the big lion-looking one, and then
Prince John is like
Prince John. I think is the little stupid,
the
younger,
sappy-looking.
Yeah. Oh my
He's
god!
like-
I gotta rewatch this.
yeah.
This is so good.
Me too. It's on Disney Plus, so
Is it really?
I'm
I'm watching it.
He's Robin Hood is also my avatar, so
Is it really?
clearly I need to rewatch this movie.
Awesome. All right. Well,
So-
on that note, though, I've got to get going. I'm assuming you might have to get going. We're
Yeah,
into the wee late hours on this one.
Yes, this is we're unhinged. We're off the clock.
We started late.
We're all over the place
We are.
tonight. Thank you for bearing with us. By the way, was that topic one of the ones that your fiance thought of? For
It
you?
is, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
So for gentle viewers at home, my fiance helped me one time. It was a 2-hour drive from on the island here, and she helped me come up with 30 different topics, and that was one of them.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the rest
I
of
couldn't
these
believe
topics.
it. She came
was a
up
good
with
one.
these just on the spot, and she would just text them to my phone as soon as she came up with them. I was like, oh my gosh. So now I've got so many topics on my phone. So
I need to get me one of those.
Yeah.
One of those fiancés who just list off a bunch of topics. Those are handy.
yeah, they're pretty good. Yep.
Nice. Cool. All
Great.
right. Well, looking forward to the rest of the 29 topics that are left over on your list.
Perfect. Anth0z, where can the audience find me? I'm going first because this is
Yeah.
switch places, so I'm going first.
All right.
You can find
Cool.
me at Twitter, At what is my thing? Is it Cast Mattbrush? That's CASTMATTBRUSH.
And if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Anth0z1. That's at Anth0z1. And if you want to find us anywhere online, you can just search on Google. Look up the Scumm podcast. That is THE space SCUMM space. No, there's no space. SCUMM bar BAR space PODcast. You can also find us on Anchor if you want to listen with your ear holes, and if you want to continue listening with your ear holes on other methods, you can find us on iTunes, or you can find us on Stitcher, you can find us on YouTube, and for that one you get the pleasure of listening through your ear holes and looking through your eye holes, even though you don't really get to see much, but that's okay. What else are we on? We're on Podbean,
We're on
we're on Beanpon, Obi-Wan, Edamamibon, Digimon, Pokemon,
Saigon.
all the Mons. Saigon. Yeah, you can find us everywhere. If you want to shoot us an email, you can shoot us an email at thescumbardpodcast@gmail.com. Is that correct?
That's perfect. Yeah, that's correct.
I think that's the one.
You got it.
If you want to leave us a comment, please feel free to do so, because we are totally looking forward to having people actually reach out to us for once.
We did get a comment recently too, actually.
Yeah, that's right. We got I think we have an average of
one comment.
1.2 over the span of 56 episodes.
We're pretty
right?
much the same stats as the coronavirus deaths.
Great. Oh, perfect. So today's topic was very timely.
Yep.
So yeah, feel free to search us up, give us a like, give us a love, give us a hands up, thumbs up, a high five, a low five, a high kick. Be creative. You know,
Five alive.
You do you. A five alive? Was
Five
that?
alive, yep.
Yeah, give us a five alive. Wow, five alive. I've not had one of those in years. Anyway, yeah, so those are the places you can find us. So we're looking forward to hearing from you, and maybe, who knows, we might even talk about you
We
on our
may.
podcast.
We probably talk about you all the time. In fact, if you commented on our videos, I'm sure we've talked about you.
Yeah. Is there anything else I've missed? I think that's...
Yeah, I think you got it. You did a good job. That was great. Considering the fact
Cool,
that, like,
thank you.
I don't even think you're looking at the stuff. I'm normally looking at a sheet of things to help me remember what to say. I think you're just going based on memory, so good job.
Well, I'm looking at your face and watching your reaction.
Oh.
If you give me this kind of, like, weird, like, distorted face, and I know I've got off track, but...
No, you did good.
We seem okay so far.
Yep.
So, well, that being said, Mattbrush, I know you've been dying to tell the audience something that you've just
It's all backfired.
It's
No.
all those that long drive, you had so much time to think, and I know you've just been aching to share it. I can see you're shaking. So why don't you just go right ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm just gonna take my little soapbox here and stand on it.
Yep.
All right.
Clear the way.
As the famous poet once said, to be or not to be, to see or not to see, for me or not for me, I must dream as big as I can and rhyme whenever there's a moment, for that's all we have left are moments such as this. I thank you, have a good night, God bless Canada, and sleep tight.
Okay. That was awesome. So that's what it's like to be you.
Yeah, that's what it's like. You have no idea what's coming.
Oh, that was awesome.
Alright, good night, everybody!
All right, goodbye, everybody. Bye.